Can I actually build an impossible structure using only Stone Age tools? That's the question. And I don't mean impossible like, wow, that's really hard. I mean impossible like, modern engineers have looked at these buildings with laser measurement equipment and said, out loud, that they couldn't replicate them today. With cranes, with computers, with every tool available in the 21st century, ancient people built them with rocks. Let's talk about that. Scattered across the planet are structures that should not exist. Not because they're old, because they're precise, because they're engineered to a standard that our best current theories about ancient civilization cannot fully account for. No steel, no machinery, no written engineering manuals, just stone, human muscle, and something we clearly don't fully understand yet. Here's what we're actually asking ancient people to have pulled off. Move stones weighing between 10 and 900 tons. Not roll them across a flat surface. Transport them across mountains, open deserts, and stretches of ocean, sometimes hundreds of miles, and then place them with millimeter-level precision on top of each other. Do this without iron tools in some cases, without the wheel in others, without any power source beyond human muscle and whatever they could work out with rope, wood, and time. Let me give you a number that puts this in perspective. The Great Pyramid of Giza contains approximately 2.3 million stone blocks. The average block weighs 2.5 tons. The heaviest tipped the scales at 80 tons. And the whole thing had to be finished in roughly 20 years. Do the math, and you get one block placed every 2.5 minutes. Every hour. Every day. For 2 decades without stopping. That's before you even get to the precision. The base of the pyramid covers 13 acres and is level to within 2.1 centimeters across the entire surface. The 4 sides align to the cardinal directions with an accuracy of 0.067 degrees. The outer casing stones, most of which have been stripped away, were finished so finely that you cannot slide a blade between them. We have copper tools, wooden sledges, and organized labor documented at the site. What we don't have is a complete explanation for how the casing stones were finished to that tolerance at scale, or how the base was leveled that precisely across 13 acres, or how they kept the thing geometrically perfect as it rose. Nobody has built a full-size replica to test the theories. Probably because nobody wants to find out the theories don't work. Stonehenge, built in phases over about 1,500 years, starting around 3000 BC. The blue stones in the inner ring were transported from Wales, over 150 miles away, each one weighing up to 4 tons. The outer sarsen stones came from 25 miles away and weigh up to 25 tons each. They were then raised upright and capped with horizontal lintels lifted to a height of 4 meters, locked into place with mortise and tenon joints carved directly into the rock. That's fine woodworking joinery. In stone. At height. But here's the part that doesn't get enough attention. The whole structure works as a precision astronomical calendar. The heel stone marks the exact point of sunrise on the summer solstice. The station stones align with the most northerly and southerly moonrises. Whoever designed this understood celestial mechanics well enough to build a permanent stone monument around specific astronomical events, passing that knowledge down across generations with no writing system. Just observation, memory, and an engineering precision we're still trying to account for. Pumapunku, sitting at 12,800 feet above sea level in the Bolivian Andes. The H-shaped stone blocks scattered across this site are made of andesite, one of the hardest stones on the planet. And they are cut, not roughly shaped. Cut. Perfectly flat surfaces accurate to fractions of a millimeter. Drill holes uniform in diameter and depth. Interlocking channels designed so precisely that the blocks could be assembled and disassembled like a 3-dimensional puzzle. The pieces were engineered to fit each other before a single one was cut. Here's what makes Pumapunku particularly hard to explain. The stone shows no chisel marks. No saw marks. Just clean geometric cuts in extremely hard material. The civilization that built it had no iron tools and no writing system we've identified. Researchers have proposed harder stone tools, abrasive techniques, and enormous time investment as explanations. The counter-argument is that nobody has successfully replicated these cuts using those methods. The debate has been going on for decades. The stones haven't changed their answer. The interlocking system at Pumapunku is the thing that keeps engineers up at night. These weren't just stones stacked on top of each other. They were designed as a system. Each block shaped to slot into specific other blocks at precise angles, with tabs and channels that lock the structure together without mortar. Which means before anyone cut a single piece of stone, someone had a complete design. Tolerances calculated. Dimensions established. A plan detailed enough that every piece, cut separately, would fit every other piece perfectly on assembly. That is not primitive thinking. That is not a lucky accident or patient trial and error. That is deliberate pre-planned engineering. In one of the hardest stones available on Earth, at altitude, by a civilization that left no written record of any of it. And then there's this. The 3 pyramids at Giza align with the 3 stars of Orion's belt. Not as they appear in the sky today. As they appeared in 10,500 BC, thousands of years before the pyramids were built. Whether that alignment was intentional is genuinely debated among serious researchers. But the alignment exists. It's measurable. It's precise. Which means either someone designed 3 massive structures to mirror a specific ancient configuration of the sky, or 3 massive structures ended up in that exact positions by coincidence. Pick whichever explanation you're comfortable with. Neither one is particularly comfortable. These aren't just old buildings. They are engineered objects of extraordinary sophistication that we cannot fully explain using the tools and knowledge we've assigned to the people who built them. That gap between what we think they had and what they clearly achieved is the actual mystery. And it's bigger than most people realize. Ancient people had no computers, cranes, nor steel. What they had was time, coordination, and a level of applied intelligence we are genuinely still catching up to. These structures exist and have existed for thousands of years. Every theory about how they were built has gaps in it. Every new scan or excavation finds something that makes the gaps slightly larger. The tools were simple. The results were not. So here's what I want to know. What's your theory? Organized labor and lost technique? Something we haven't thought of yet? Drop it in the comments. Seriously, I read them, and the best ones are genuinely more interesting than half the academic papers on this topic. And if ancient engineering that refuses to be explained is your thing, subscribe. There is a lot more of this where it came from.